Nikah urfi is a customary Sunni Muslim marriage contract that is not registered with state authorities. This form of marriage does not require witnesses. Couples repeat the words, "We got married," and pledge commitment, although there are many other informal ways in which people marry. Urfi, usually a paper stating that the two are married, is written and at least two witnesses sign it, although others may record the commitment on a cassette tape and use other forms of documentation. Most Arab countries do not recognize urfi marriages and do not allow partners to get a legal divorce since the government does not recognize the legality of the marriage in the first place. Sometimes these relationships are a way for people to have sex with each other within what is perceived to be a illicit framework. Nevertheless, the relationship is often kept secret from family members, and women often become pregnant but are unable to prove they are married or get a divorce. Etymology: urfi comes from the Arabic word urf, which means custom, convention, or a customary act. Many Sunnis who adhere to the Sunnah wal Jamaath and Sufi point of views have often criticized this practice, and have related it to prostitution. The term nikah has not been used as a legal term in historical Sunni jurisprudence, and is argued by many Sunnis to be something new that does not fit in within the Sunni tradition. In its modern context, urfi is used to connote something that is different from official state ceremony or procedure. Thus, a nikah urfi in an Islamic state may denote something similar to a common law marriage in the West, while in some countries, such as Egypt, a nikah urfi is a marriage that takes place without the public approval of the bride's guardians, even though the contract is officiated by a religious cleric and sometimes by a state representative. Legal issues. There are three criteria for defining legal issues in Islamic jurisprudence. Shari, something that is clearly defined in the Sharia. Urfi, conventional or common tradition. An urfi definition is acceptable to the common people without any scientific or Shari precision. Ilmi, a definition presented by science. If the Sharia defines something, all Muslims must follow that definition. If the Sharia is silent on an issue, Muslims should follow the urfi definition. The urfi marriage has always existed, but for different reasons. In the past, it was common among the widows of soldiers who had huge pensions and they did not want to lose it by officially remarrying. Now, however, it is mostly among university students and young couples who cannot afford the high cost of marriage. Undocumented urfi marriages are increasingly popular among Egyptian youth. The high cost of marriage forces many young couples to wait several years before they marry. Conservative Egyptian society forbids sex before marriage, so many young people consider the urfi marriage a solution. Urfi marriages are conducted by a Muslim cleric in the presence of two witnesses. However, they are not officially registered and are not legally financially binding on the man. Couples married in this way often meet in secret and avoid the expense of renting an apartment. The urfi marriage can be disastrous for the wife in legal terms. If the husband leaves her without granting her a divorce, she had no legal right to seek a divorce since urfi marriage is considered illegal. Her husband could remarry. The wife is in a more difficult position. If the wife remarries, she can be accused of polyandry, which is punishable by 7 years in prison in Egypt, or she could remain single for the rest of her life. The new Egyptian law recognizes the woman's right to seek divorce from an urfi marriage. However, the law denies her alimony and child support. There are also controversial, unofficial urfi marriages, where a couple signs documents declaring themselves married. The couple does not inform the families of the marriage. Many Egyptian clerics are against this type of urfi marriage, calling it a cover for premarital sex. An extreme form of urfi marriage is known as zawaj al-urfi. To give prostitution an Islamic cover, some women enter into secret marriage contracts with the summer visitors, known in Egypt as zawaj al-urfi. This contract is made without witnesses and typically ends in divorce by summer's end. Most of Egypt's Islamic scholars condemn this use of zawaj al-urfi. Traditional Islamic view, the part of a contract of marriage that is absolutely necessary, according to all Islamic schools, Sunni as well as Shia, is that it is agreed to by the man and the woman to be married, and whether it is the verbal or written makes no difference. Hence the witnesses. The additional requirement is bride's duram are to be paid by the man to the woman. This marriage gift may be in fiscal form, a chattel may be promissory payment at future date, or in the event of husband divorcing the wife by talaq. It thus includes what Western lawyers consider the three requirements of a contract, i.e. offer, acceptance and consideration. With regard to urfi marriage, there are two types of this, where the woman is married in secret without the agreement of her wali. It should also be noted that some of the fuqaha say that publicizing the marriage is one of the conditions of it being valid, again comparable to Western requirements of traditional Judeo-Christian marriages.